Now let's get to our recommends. Roadhouse, we all know it's a remake of the Patrick Swayze iconic masterpiece of some. I call it masterpiece because Ben Gazzara is so memorable as the villain. We love him. We also love Sam Elliott in that movie. But Roadhouse, this is not Sam Elliott. This is not Swayze. This is not Gazzara. It has Jake Gyllenhaal. It has the notorious one. Who is the notorious one? Eric Holmes, the notorious who?
Is that Conor McGregor? Or?
Yes, Conor McGregor.
Okay,
Conor McGregor.
yeah, I don't know his nicknames. I don't follow
Okay.
UFC.
Oh, okay, Conor McGregor, Jake Gyllenhaal. Who else is in this movie? Bruce, do you remember who else is in this movie? Any big ones? Any big stars? I think it's just Conor and Jake.
The
But there's
woman was from, I think, the Suicide Squad. I forget her name though. So,
okay, yeah.
Post Malone. Post Malone is in it.
oh yeah, Post Malone is in the opening scene. That's
Post
right.
Malone's in the opening scene. So
He was pre Malone in the movie.
right. Very good. Very good. Rim shot. We're not going to go over the plot here. You guys have Prime Video. Let's just get to reactions on this movie. Bruce, Roadhouse, work for you?
It didn't really move the needle much for me. I mean, I
Wait,
know
wait,
I'm
wait,
disappointing Eric.
Bruce,
So you're not
wait up.
disappointing me, Bruce, because I kind of saw this coming. But go on.
Eric,
Yeah.
do we cut Bruce's audio right now? What do we do?
No.
Okay,
We,
Bruce,
we give everyone
this movie
equal
is
time here.
the story of Jake Gyllenhaal. He wanders from town to town. You don't want to get him angry. And that is essentially my problem with this movie, is that he is a superhero. This is basically just a fighting version of MCU to me, where it's got, to me, the action scenes were very, and I really want to hear Eric's, because he thinks that these are groundbreaking fight scenes. And for me, they seemed very CGI enhanced. And I was reading about them, and I guess they took like 3 or 4 angles of the same fight, and then they melded them together somehow digitally. And I think I was sensing that, because you know how some of the CGI fights in like superhero movies, they're like, it swings around them and all that kind of stuff, like you see it in like Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie does a lot of that, and it felt kind of superhero fighty to me, especially because I knew that he would never get hurt really seriously. Like I said, I said this on a middle class film class. Evidently, Jake Gyllenhaal's character only can get stabbed in one spot in his body. There's a little spot in his lower left abdomen. That's where he gets stabbed. So just make sure you know that if you're going to fight him.
It's
Anyway,
like the opposite of the Achilles heel. It's the iron
yeah, but
appendix, I
it
guess.
doesn't stop him. If you do
okay,
that to him, he'll
Bruce, that's a total spoiler. I always say Eric's spoiler. That's an MCU spoiler,
Oh.
man. That's like a Marvel Universe spoiler.
What, Jake
Did he
Gyllenhaal
kill and
gets
get
stabbed?
Yeah, I'm
He's stabbed
kidding.
like 12 times.
anyway, I mean, I wanted it to be, I don't know, I wanted it to be trashier. I wanted it to be campier. I wanted it to be something.
You didn't
There's
have
a
fun.
scene.
You had no fun. You didn't have fun, as much fun
No.
as you wanted to in this movie. Let's
The
just say.
most fun I had was predicting like what the exact final last shot would be. I said like, oh, when he walks into town, a girl says something to him like, oh, that's going to be the last thing we see in this movie. Yep, it's the last thing we see in the movie. And the fact that they had to have a character say like, hey, this is like a Western. And it's like, hey, audience, if you don't get it, this is like a Western. I want to have a character tell you it's like a Western. It just didn't work for
It
me.
didn't
I'm
remind
sorry.
you of Shane, Bruce? Shane?
It didn't remind you of Roadhouse?
I mentioned Shane. Bruce refuses to answer me.
Roadhouse is on my box list. I've never seen Roadhouse. Never
Oh,
seen the
okay.
original.
That's very
See,
interesting.
this is all making sense now.
Okay.
Because like a
But I
lot
might
of
like this worse if I watch original Roadhouse.
Possibly. Who knows? Who knows? You know what, Bruce? My call is you're going to appreciate the original over this one. Yeah. Eric,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts? Oh.
So I've heard a bunch of people kind of echo Bruce's sentiments, and my question to them would be, have you seen the original Roadhouse? To which Bruce said no, and now it all makes sense. The original Roadhouse is dumb. The whole premise is stupid, and but it's entertaining. I love Patrick Swayze in it, Ben Gazzara, Jeff Healy's he's
Yes.
the main band guy. Like, as stupid as Roadhouse is, it's still fun to watch, and it's like I think people kind of
I interviewed Jeff Healy way back in the day. I just realized.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
one
that's not
interview.
the song you did, Angel Eyes, written by John Hyatt, by the way.
Yeah, John Hyatt, another great musician. Love him.
Mhm. Yeah. But so the original Roadhouse is stupid, corny. The whole premise is dumb. Hey, I'm gonna pay you to everyone's kicking everyone's butts in the Roadhouse or the Double Deuce. And so I need someone to come in. I'll pay you so you can beat them up. But like Patrick Swayze's got a be nice, a more even keeled way of going about it. And then they decided, 35 years later, they decided they were going to remake it for reasons I couldn't quite understand at the time. And then I watched it and I'm like, oh, they knew exactly, as you say, they understood the assignment. Oh, we're remaking Roadhouse. Cool. We're going to make it silly. The story is going to be stupid. Hey, I'm going to pay, what was it? I'm going to pay you $5,000 a week to come in and be a bouncer for a month. Like, the amount of money he's being paid, like the finances doesn't quite make sense with what they want to do.
Profits. Yeah.
But one of the things I did appreciate was that they got, I mean, first of all, the Roadhouse is just called Roadhouse. They didn't use double deuce. There's not a lot of nostalgia bait or fan service in this. It's almost like they watched Roadhouse and went, that's cool. Let's set it here instead and, do kind of made it their own. I think I'm probably going to be on the side of Roadhouse that I am with the RoboCop remake, where, people hate it, whatever. I like what they did. They took a different, slightly different direction while still kind of maintaining a similar tone. The fight scenes, loved the fight scenes. And I get that, again, I hear of like the CGI stuff, RRR, cough. I don't understand why you would have a problem with Roadhouse, but not have a problem with RRR, because I think they're both equally ridiculous, but they're also equally amazing to me. Now, to Bruce's point about the fight scenes, like, I thought it was really cool how they put it together, just because, like, you watch how it plays out in the movie and the camera's like always falling, like, it feels like the camera and the stunt coordinators work together, as opposed to, we're going to have the stunt coordinators work over here, and then on the day we're going to start shooting and everyone holding the shaky cam just has to keep up, and then it usually leads to pretty bad action. Not in Scott Adkins movies, by the way. And actually, I think Scott Adkins had problems with this movie, but I won't hold that against him. but I think just the way they shot the action in this movie, and like how the camera just kind of, just quickly, like, kind of zooms around trying to get the best shot in like every, and it does it fluidly, which is, I guess, is probably the CGI portion of that. I could see this being, when I say groundbreaking, I could see other movies copying this style. And I could also see it not working as well. Kind of like when they did with The Matrix. I think it's probably a similar concept of, Neo going back like that. And they have like 100 cameras around, so they're able to stitch all the camera moves together to make it appear that the camera is moving around when it's actually not. It's just a bunch of them. And then you watch The Matrix and it's like, wow, that's so cool that they did that. And then they do it in other movies and they don't have the same artistic flourish to it, so it doesn't work as well. But this was a movie I was kind of not really, I didn't really feel anything about it. I was like, well, they're remaking Roadhouse. The original is pretty stupid, so if this one's stupid, maybe it'll be fine. I was just absolutely blown away by this. And I think here's your hot take. You ready for this? I think this one's better than the original Roadhouse.
Wow, better than the original Roadhouse.
So there you go. Come at me, internet.
I don't know why. I haven't seen the Roadhouse original in a while. I have to rewatch it. All I'm going to say is, Eric, I thought this was going to be a mini review of Roadhouse. This was longer than our review of The Listener and The Lie combined. You are such a fan of Roadhouse. What is your rating on Roadhouse, Eric?
I think it comes as no surprise. This is a 6.9. This might be one of my favorite movies of the year. We'll see what happens.
That's amazing, Bruce. Your rating on Roadhouse?
2.5.
2.5 stars. Eric, I want you to copy me exactly the way for the Ghostbusters review, so Bruce can go back to his loved ones in about 2 minutes. Okay, you're gonna copy my review and you're gonna copy and paste and apply that to Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. This is my review of Roadhouse. Really loved it. Loved the fights. Everyone was cool. A lot of good action sequence. Conor McGregor's amazing, and Bruce Purkey is absolutely bleeping wrong. 4.5 stars for Roadhouse. I love this movie.
4.5. I put 4.
Oh no, 4.5 stars.
Actually,
that's it. I'm finished. That's it. See, there.